Throughout history, certain prayers and sacred texts have been cherished by believers seeking divine intervention, comfort, and transformation in their lives. Among the 150 psalms in the Book of Psalms, there exists one that many spiritual practitioners claim has been overlooked by modern worshipers. Yet those who rediscover it and recite it with faith report experiencing extraordinary changes within just 24 hours. This forgotten psalm carries a power that transcends religious boundaries and speaks directly to the human soul's deepest needs. The mystery of the forgotten psalm. In our fast-paced modern world, where technology dominates our attention and ancient wisdom often takes a back seat, many sacred texts have fallen into obscurity. While Psalm 23, "The Lord is my shepherd," and Psalm 91, "He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High," remain popular among believers, there are other equally powerful psalms that have been quietly waiting to be rediscovered by those who seek spiritual breakthroughs. The psalm we're exploring today has been described by spiritual teachers and devoted believers as a hidden gem, a prayer so potent that it seems to unlock heaven's doors when recited with genuine faith and intention. But why has this particular psalm been forgotten? Perhaps it's because we've become accustomed to the familiar, comfortable prayers we learned in childhood. Or maybe it's because the true power of this psalm can only be recognized by those who approach it with an open heart and desperate need. Understanding the power of psalms before we delve deeper into this specific forgotten psalm, it's essential to understand why the psalms, in general, hold such transformative power. The Book of Psalms is a collection of 150 poetic prayers and hymns that express the full range of human emotion, from profound joy and gratitude to deep sorrow and desperate pleas for help. These ancient prayers were written primarily by King David and other psalmists thousands of years ago, yet they remain remarkably relevant to modern life. The Psalms are unique because they give voice to our innermost feelings in a way that resonates with the divine. When we recite them, we're not just reading words on a page, we're joining our voices with countless believers throughout history who have found solace, strength, and miracles through these sacred texts. The Psalms create a bridge between the human and the divine, allowing our prayers to reach heaven in a language that has been sanctified by centuries of faith. Many spiritual traditions teach that certain psalms contain specific spiritual frequencies or vibrations that align with particular needs or situations. Some psalms are known for protection, others for healing, prosperity, peace, or deliverance from enemies. The forgotten psalm we're discussing today is particularly renowned for its ability to bring about rapid, miraculous changes in seemingly impossible situations. The 24-hour miracle phenomenon. What makes this forgotten psalm especially remarkable are the countless testimonies from people around the world who report experiencing tangible miracles within 24 hours of reciting it. These aren't vague spiritual feelings or coincidental events. We're talking about documented life changes that defy natural explanation. People have reported financial breakthroughs after years of struggle, with unexpected money arriving through forgotten sources or surprising opportunities. Others have experienced healing from chronic conditions that doctors couldn't cure, with symptoms disappearing or significantly improving within a day of prayer. Broken relationships have been restored, with estranged family members or spouses reaching out after years of silence. Legal battles that seemed hopeless have taken sudden favorable turns. Job opportunities have materialized out of nowhere for the unemployed. Protection from danger has manifested in remarkable ways. The key to these 24-hour miracles isn't magic or superstition. It's the combination of faith, intention, and the spiritual authority contained within this particular psalm. When recited with genuine belief and a humble heart, this prayer seems to activate divine intervention in ways that bypass natural processes and timelines. The spiritual science behind rapid manifestation. While miracles are by definition supernatural, there are spiritual principles that help explain why this psalm might work so powerfully and quickly. First, the act of prayer itself shifts our consciousness from a state of worry and fear to one of faith and expectation. This shift in mental and emotional state opens us to receive blessings that our anxious minds might otherwise block. Second, specific words and phrases in the Psalms carry what spiritual teachers call divine authority. These aren't just poetic expressions, they're declarations that align with God's will and character. When we pray these God-breathed words back to heaven, we're essentially reminding the divine of His own promises and nature. Third, there's power in repetition and consistency. While many people report miracles after reciting this psalm just once, the practice becomes even more effective when done repeatedly with focused intention. The psalm works like a spiritual key that unlocks doors in the invisible realm. And the more we use that key, the more practiced we become at accessing divine intervention. Fourth, timing matters in the spiritual realm just as it does in the natural world. Sometimes our prayers align with divine timing in such a way that breakthroughs happen rapidly. This forgotten psalm seems to have a unique ability to accelerate divine timing, bringing forward blessings that might otherwise take months or years to manifest. How to recite the psalm for maximum effect. If you're interested in experiencing the power of this forgotten psalm for yourself, approach it with the right mindset and methodology. Here are essential steps to maximize its effectiveness. Prepare your heart. Before reciting the psalm, take time to quiet your mind and center your spirit. This isn't about rushing through words. It's about creating a sacred space for communion with the divine. Acknowledge any doubts or fears, then consciously release them. Be specific about your need. While the psalm is powerful on its own, its effectiveness increases when you have a clear intention. What miracle do you need within 24 hours? What situation requires divine intervention? Hold this need clearly in your mind as you pray. Recite with faith and emotion. Don't just read the words mechanically. Speak them with conviction, allowing yourself to feel the meaning behind each phrase. Your emotion and faith activate the spiritual power within the prayer. Visualize the outcome. As you recite the psalm, imagine your miracle already accomplished. See yourself healed, blessed, protected, or delivered. This isn't wishful thinking, it's faith in action. Believing you've received before you see the evidence. Express gratitude in advance. After reciting the psalm, thank God as if your prayer has already been answered. This attitude of gratitude demonstrates faith and creates a receptive state for receiving miracles. Release and trust. Once you've prayed, release your petition to heaven. Don't spend the next 24 hours anxiously wondering if it will work. Trust the process and go about your day with peaceful expectation. Be watchful. Miracles often come in unexpected ways. Stay alert to opportunities, ideas, phone calls, meetings, or circumstances that might be divine answers to your prayer. Sometimes miracles look like natural coincidences, but there's no such thing as coincidence when you've been praying. Real-life testimonies of 24-hour miracles. Proof of this psalm's power lies in the experiences of real people who have recited it and witnessed remarkable results. While we must always approach spiritual testimonies with both faith and wisdom, the sheer volume and consistency of reports about this forgotten psalm cannot be easily dismissed. One woman shared how she recited the psalm while facing eviction from her home with nowhere to go. Within 24 hours, a relative she hadn't spoken to in years called out of the blue and offered her a place to stay, along with financial help to get back on her feet. Another person testified about a court case that seemed hopeless. After praying this psalm the night before the hearing, new evidence emerged that completely exonerated them. A businessman on the verge of bankruptcy reported that within one day of reciting this psalm, a client he'd given up on contacted him with a contract that saved his company. A mother whose son had been missing for weeks prayed this psalm and received a call within 24 hours from authorities who had located him safe and well. These testimonies span different countries, cultures, and circumstances, yet they share common threads: desperate need, sincere faith, and the recitation of this forgotten psalm followed by rapid, miraculous intervention. Why this psalm works when others haven't. If you've prayed before without seeing results, you might wonder what makes this psalm different. The answer lies in several factors. First, this particular psalm may be perfectly aligned with your current spiritual season. Different prayers resonate at different times in our lives. and perhaps this is the prayer your soul has been seeking without knowing it. Second, the act of discovering something forgotten or hidden often increases our faith. When we feel we've stumbled upon a spiritual secret, our expectation rises, and expectation is a key ingredient in receiving miracles. Third, this psalm may address the root spiritual dynamics of your situation in ways that other prayers haven't. It's also possible that your previous prayers were working all along, preparing the ground for this psalm to bring the final breakthrough. Spiritual growth and answered prayer often work like farming. There's a season of planting, a season of watering and waiting, and finally a season of harvest. This forgotten psalm might be the harvest prayer that brings forth fruit from seeds planted long ago. The importance of consistency and faith. While many people report miracles within 24 hours, it's important to understand that this isn't a magic formula that works the same way for everyone every time. Faith isn't about manipulating the divine with the right words. It's about relationship, trust, and alignment with divine will. Some people may need to recite the psalm for several days before seeing results. Others might experience immediate but partial breakthroughs that lead to complete miracles over time. The key is to remain consistent and faithful, trusting that your prayer is heard and that divine timing is always perfect. If you don't see results within 24 hours, don't give up or conclude that the psalm doesn't work. Instead, examine your heart. Are you truly believing or merely hoping? Are you holding on to worry and fear even as you pray? Are you willing to accept that the answer might look different from what you expected? Sometimes the miracle isn't the change in our circumstances, but the change in our hearts that enables us to navigate difficult circumstances with peace and wisdom. Both types of miracles are valuable and worth receiving. A prayer that transcends religion. While the Psalms come from the Judeo-Christian tradition, their power has been recognized by spiritual seekers from various backgrounds. The principles of faith, prayer, and divine intervention are universal human experiences, even if we call the divine by different names. What matters most isn't your religious label, but the sincerity of your heart and the genuineness of your faith. The divine responds to humble, honest seekers regardless of their religious background. If you approach this forgotten psalm with respect, openness, and genuine need, you create the conditions for miracles to occur in your life. Moving forward. After your miracle, when you experience the power of this psalm and witness a miracle in your life, remember to give thanks and share your testimony with others. Just as this psalm was forgotten and needed to be rediscovered, your story of breakthrough might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to ignite their own faith. Also, understand that experiencing one miracle doesn't mean you'll never face challenges again. Life is a journey with seasons of both blessing and testing. The forgotten psalm can become a faithful companion throughout your spiritual journey, a prayer you return to whenever you need divine intervention. Finally, let your miracle transform not just your circumstances, but your character. Miracles are meant to increase our faith, deepen our relationship with the divine, and make us more compassionate toward others who are suffering. Don't just seek miracles for personal benefit. Allow them to make you a channel of blessing to others. Your next 24 hours, as you finish reading this, you stand at a threshold of possibility. You now know about a powerful, forgotten psalm that has brought miracles to countless people within 24 hours. The question is, will you approach it with faith and recite it over your own situation? The next 24 hours could be the most significant day of your life. Your breakthrough might be one prayer away. Your miracle might already be in motion, waiting for you to align with it through this sacred text. Your impossible situation might be about to become a testimony that inspires others. Approach this psalm with reverence, faith, and expectation. Open your heart to receive what the divine wants to do in your life, and prepare yourself for the possibility that everything could change within the next 24 hours. If this message has inspired you or given you hope, please follow our channel for more spiritual wisdom and encouragement. Like this video to help others discover this powerful prayer and share it with anyone who needs a miracle in their life. Your share might be the answer to someone's desperate prayer. Together we can help this forgotten psalm be forgotten no more, bringing miracles to people around the world who need them most. God bless you, and may your next 24 hours be filled with divine intervention and miraculous breakthroughs.